right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
He witnessed another teen's death. Weeks later, he was reported missing.
I miss him with all my heart.
Tonight, his parents tell the I-Team they believe their son's disappearance is connected.
The pursuit of precipitation is coming up empty, while our rain chances look minimal through the rest of the week.
Our top story, budget battle. Fireworks at tonight's county council meeting.
And I need you to respect the chair.
What pots of money are magically going to appear?
Within the last 2 hours, the St. Louis County Council passed their spending plan for 2024. Good evening. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. The council's budget is at odds with the county executive's plan. Laura Barcheski is live in Clayton with what vital services could see significant cuts next year. Laura.
Mike and Kelly, the St. Louis County Council passed their amended budget going against County Executive Sam Page's budget, claiming that their cuts will save more than $14 million. Ahead of Tuesday's St. Louis County Council meeting, County Executive Sam Page sent a letter to the council saying if they pass their proposed budget cuts, ARPA-funded projects will be put on hold. There would be cuts to the teams who deal with problem properties. The senior tax freeze would also be on hold, and tax bills would no longer be mailed to residents. Page was not at the meeting Tuesday, and many of the council members were critical of the letter, saying Page's budget would hurt the county and taxpayers.
Unfortunately, instead of taking our input and working together on that plan, we simply received a budget request that increases spending and also increases taxes. That is not being fiscally responsible.
Councilman Mark Harder says he's considered this letter from Page to be a threat to the very projects many of them worked on.
If we vote against this, then we will somehow save those projects around the county. So I thought it was a very, I guess disappointing is the word that comes to mind when it comes to this.
The county council's amended budget proposed cuts to several offices, including the public administrator, Tim Weeks' office, which he said during public comment would be detrimental to helping vulnerable children who age out of the state's care and elderly abandoned by family.
This office is fully staffed and uses almost every dollar that we've been allowed in our 2023 budget, and we intend to continue that in 2024. But if these cuts are allowed to proceed, that will severely hinder our ability to do so.
The council's budget would also cut money from public health and public works.
Roads and sidewalks are the most common topic for constituent comments and complaints because our safe streets and sidewalks have long been our county's points of pride. Yet we are being asked to cut more than $2 million out of the public works budget.
Council Chairwoman Shalonda Webb says there will be an opportunity next year to reevaluate these cuts that were largely passed by a majority of the members.
In the second quarter, we can have some of those conversations about supplement bills. That's fair, everybody. Yes, this is hard. We're not afraid of hard. We do hard. But we can do it better if we work together, talk honestly and open and transparent with each other, and stop trying to legislate with headlines and threats.
Council Chairwoman Webb says that these cuts that they approved tonight will cut in half their $27.3 million deficit that the county currently has. Reporting live in Clayton, Laura Barcheski, 5 on Your Side.
Tonight, a 12-year-old boy is in juvenile custody charged with first-degree assault. Investigators say he shot his mother's boyfriend in the head. The shooting happened overnight in a home on Sullivan Avenue in North City. St. Louis police say the boy's mother and her boyfriend had been arguing when the boy grabbed a gun and pulled the trigger. He later showed up to the police station with his mother. The mother's boyfriend remains in the hospital tonight. Tonight, 2 teenagers are in custody after a St. Louis officer fired shots at one of them.
Police say this all started when the 2 teenagers were trying to break into cars along Morgan Ford in South St. Louis. And new tonight, Robert Townsend talked to one expert about the teen violence that's not letting up.
Mike and Kelly, investigators say one of the teens pulled a gun on the officer this morning in South City. Now, the expert I spoke with hopes juvenile judges and prosecutors hear the message she's driving home. It's just before 9 on Tuesday morning. You'd think 2 16-year-olds would be in school. Instead, police say a witness spotted the boys breaking into cars on Merlet Court near Morgan's Ford in South St. Louis.
It's very, very scary just to hear that that's happening right here in our streets.
Drew Kallmeyer and his wife have lived in the neighborhood for 3 years.
This is actually a very safe street. This cul-de-sac has never had any sort of crime that I know of. It's shocking.
Police say when they tried to stop the teens, one of them ran off. They say an officer ordered the boy to stop, but the young suspect reached into a satchel and pulled out a gun. The officer feared for his life and fired multiple shots. Police arrested the teenager in a front yard.
We've seen this go on a lot around here in the summer, and I thought maybe weather would have a little bit of something to do with it and maybe curb it a bit.
But the bold crimes police say young people are committing aren't slowing down. Clinical psychologist and Webster University professor Dr. Jamaica Woody Cooper says the troubling trend won't stop until
courts are going to have to get a lot tougher with the consequences. Punishment is going to have to be swift, and it's going to have to be steep, and it's going to have to be consistent also.
Now, Dr. Woody Cooper also says more parents need to be held more accountable and steer their children away from crime and violence. Neither the teenager nor the officer was hurt in that incident.
Robert, thanks. Tonight, the National Park Service confirms it's investigating a report of a sexual assault on the Gateway Arch grounds. The report was made on December 6th. Officials tell us an arrest was made, but gave no other details. We'll continue to work to find out more. Tonight, the FBI is offering a $10,000 reward for information on this man. The feds say he's wanted for a hate crime against a transgender victim on a Metro bus. That attack back in April was caught on camera, and we must warn you, the video you're about to see is graphic. The suspect got on a Metro bus at the intersection of Grand and Chippewa. Agents say he started kicking and punching a transgender woman after she rejected his advances. He also pulled out a gun. Again, the FBI is offering a $10,000 reward in this case.
Just hours ago, Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri made yet another impassioned plea on the Senate floor for victims of nuclear waste radiation.
Of the need to do justice to these good Americans who have, let's just tell it like it is, been poisoned by their own government, who have been exposed to nuclear waste, nuclear radiation by the United States government.
Funding for the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act was stripped from the latest defense bill. It would provide compensation for tens of thousands of Americans exposed to the government's radioactive material, including those exposed to waste in Coldwater Creek and the Westlake landfill. New tonight, the mystery surrounding a party where a young man died from a gunshot wound has deepened.
One of the witnesses disappeared just weeks after the death, with authorities are calling a suicide, and then a jury called a death by violence. The I-Team's Christine Byers has been following the story since it began more than 2 years ago, and tonight has a family's plea for answers.
Dante Martin was just 19 years old when he died from a gunshot wound to his head. It happened here in April of 2021 at a party in Fredericktown, Missouri. John Paul Parton, also 19 at the time, was there when it happened.
Madison County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
Apparently a guy just shot himself.
You can hear someone yell his name, John Paul, during the 911 call, which the I-Team obtained. Police initially ruled Durante's death a suicide. His family insisted Durante, who is black, was murdered at the home.
It hurts my heart to know that somebody hurt my grandson. And possibly because of the color of his skin.
3 weeks later, John Paul Parton disappeared. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says it doesn't know if his disappearance is connected to Durante's death or the party at the home.
I miss him with all my heart.
The last day the Partons saw their son was May 16, 2021. They admit they've fallen apart since then. And they can't stop thinking about what he told them that morning about the party where his friend Durante died.
He said he was there, that it was not a suicide, it was a murder.
2 months later, the jury in a coroner's inquest agreed. It determined Durante died by violence. That conflicts with the Missouri Highway Patrol investigation, which found no evidence of foul play. And the homeowner and several others who were at that party also testified that it was a suicide. John Paul wasn't among them. His family had already filed a missing persons report.
We just want to know, and one day it'll all come out. The Bartons also say their son told them he had burglarized a business with a few of his friends the day he went missing. They also wonder whether a disagreement between them could have led to their son's disappearance. If you have any information about this case, call the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department at 636-797-5000. For the I-Team, Christine Byers, 5 on your side.
And if you have a tip for Christine on the 5 on your side I-Team, you can leave a voice message at 314-444-5231 or send an email to tips@ksdk.com. All calls and correspondence will be kept confidential.
Tonight, funeral plans are set for a Winfield High School senior who died in what authorities call a tragic duck hunting incident. 18-year-old Trent Bush was killed Sunday morning at Ted Shanks Conservation Area in northern Pike County. A visitation would be held Friday from 4 to 9 at the Winfield Primary School gym. Then there's a funeral mass celebrated Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Immaculate Conception Catholic Church in Old Monroe. In lieu of flowers, the family is requesting memorial donations be made to Nub Ability. The athletic organization helps limb-different children. The family says the group supported Trent after he lost his hand, helping him find his enthusiasm again for hunting and welding.
No parish elementary schools in the St. Louis Archdiocese will close for at least another year. That decision announced today. All pastors recommended their schools stay open for the 2024-25 school year. About 1/3 of the schools were consulted in the evaluation under the All Things New plan due to declining enrollment.
Smooth sailing tonight in North County. MoDOT's Interstate 270 North project is officially complete. Local and state leaders held a ribbon cutting today in Hazelwood. Work started in 2020, leading to years of detours and delays. Officials say the upgrades were worth the wait.
We are confident the improvements that we made here will result in a lower crash rate and a lower fatality rate.
MoDOT revamped 7 interchanges between Lindbergh and Highway 367. There's also an extra lane, new bridges, and changes to traffic signals.
Cashing in on class action settlements. Proof of purchase not always required. Tonight, our Verify team has a warning for anyone looking to make a quick buck. Finale bound. Never a doubt, Ruby. Ruby Lee's message to her Missouri hometown just seconds after advancing to the top 5 on The Voice.
The top 5 on The Voice, and we're trending toward a top 5 warmest December in St. Louis. Why this weekend should accommodate all your errands.
Sad news from Hollywood tonight. Actor Andre Brauer has died. The Emmy-winning actor is best known for his roles on NBC's Homicide, Life on the Street, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. His publicist says he died after a brief illness, but offered no other details. Andre Brauer was 61.
Tonight, the White House is reaching out to members of Congress in hopes of a compromise to secure more aid for Ukraine. It comes just hours after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visited with President Biden, pleading for more funding for his country's fight against Russia. Republicans are holding out, demanding policy changes on immigration, but the White House says Ukraine needs the money now.
Class action settlements allow groups of people to settle a claim with a single case, but determining who can reap the benefits is a challenge.
And tonight, our Verify team looks into websites claiming no proof is required to get a payout. Here's Brandon Lewis.
We've all gotten a notice at some point telling us that we're eligible for some amount of money from a class action settlement. But there are social media accounts and websites dedicated to tracking these cases and highlighting when people can get money without showing any proof they're qualified for it. Which begs the question, is it legal to take part in a class action settlement if you're not really entitled to it? Our sources are class action firm Certum Group and Jeff Feldman, a law professor at the University of Washington School of Law. Class action settlements are complex because they typically require administrators to send out small payments to millions of people. To make things simple, Feldman said the courts often don't require class members to show proof of purchase to claim small amounts because who really keeps receipts from years ago?
It's a way in which people who may have been economically harmed by the conduct but can't prove it with a receipt can get some compensation. Now, under no circumstances is compensation supposed to go to individuals who don't qualify for class participation.
But that doesn't prevent people from trying to take advantage of the system to make a quick buck. The potential risk? Being charged with fraud or perjury, and that's noted on the websites promoting no-proof settlements. According to Feldman, it's unlikely you'll be caught for claiming a one-off settlement you're not entitled to. He and the Sturm Group say the larger issue are bots from organized crime groups.
When they have to sort out hundreds of thousands of phony claims, that jacks up the cost for everybody and ultimately comes out of the total amount of the settlement that's available, even for people who are entitled to it.
So, no, it is not legal to take part in a class action settlement if you aren't really entitled to it. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
What would you like us to verify? Just send an email to verify@ksdk.com.
Well, the results of The Voice semifinals are in.
Our third finalist is Ruby Lee, Team Reba. Never a doubt, Ruby.
The 16-year-old from Foley, Missouri was one of 9 semifinalists who performed last night, and it was up to you, the fans, who would move on to the finals. Ruby Lee sang John Denver's Take Me Home, Country Roads. The youngest singer in the competition has stayed true to her country music roots.
The thing I like to say is, I come from a town of 68 people, so opportunities are not big for me. To be here and to be the last Mariner standing on Reba's first team means a lot to me. So especially all of you, even though I'm not on your teams, everything you guys have said has meant so much to me, and I've really taken credit to it. So thank you so much.
And you can see Ruby Lee perform on The Voice 2-part season finale, December 18th and 19th here on 5 on your side.
I still can't get over how young she is.
She's so composed.
She
and mature.
really is, and she can sing.
Yes, she can.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joined us now with that weather first forecast. If she were back in St. Louis, she might be singing about this great weather we've
Yeah,
had.
she wouldn't be singing about All I Want Is a White Christmas,
Right.
that's for sure.
No.
You know, this morning, look at the sunrise this morning. This from Beth down at Jefferson Barracks, looking over the Mississippi River. Beth's on our Weather Watchers, our 5 on Your Side Weather Watchers Facebook group. And then that was sunrise. Here's sunset tonight with Paul Wilcoxon out in Washington as we had the clouds rolling in tonight. Those clouds will keep us from getting really all that much colder. Right now, you're looking at temperatures that are down into the 30s to around 40 degrees. It won't be quite as cold in most spots tomorrow morning as it was perhaps this morning, but still on the chilly side. You have high pressure up here to our north right now and a lot of clouds swinging through. Did you know there was a front that came through today? Probably didn't know it. It's down to our south. Clouds are rolling in. These snowflakes up in northern Missouri on the radar screen, most of those not even reaching the ground. We're not concerned about snow here or rain. Will stay on the dry side the next few days. 40 degrees in St. Louis. We made it up to 51 this afternoon. 31 was our low this morning, averaging out about 4 degrees above where we traditionally are this time of year. A few spots in the upper 20s overnight as the clouds roll in, low 30s in town. That front's well to our south and east. High pressure is building in, but we call this a dirty high because it has a lot of clouds with it. There's a fair amount of energy that will swing through, keeping the clouds over us as we head into tomorrow. So we wake up tomorrow morning with mainly cloudy skies around St. Louis. Through the course of the day, we'll see those clouds by lunchtime into the afternoon starting to break up a bit and thinning out somewhat. And skies should clear out altogether as we head into Wednesday night. It'll be chilly with temperatures dropping back into the 30s, but this is important. Clear skies, a good thing because the Gemini meteor shower will be peaking tomorrow night into Thursday. Now, there's still a chance, even going into next week, where we could see some meteors around, but the peak of this is happening as we head into tomorrow night, early on Thursday morning. Your best location, a dark place with a wide view of the sky. The timing late in the evening into the overnight hours best. You'll have to be patient, let your eyes get adjusted out there and just look anywhere in the sky and you should be able to catch a meteor or 2 or 3 as we head towards tomorrow night and into Thursday morning. That's when it peaks. Our only chance for rain, well, check this out. It's rolling along about Saturday. You have a little system that'll be sliding in from the west. As it moves in and towards us, it may give us just a few spritzes and sprinkles, but odds are we see very little rain over the next 10 days. And of course, with temperatures that are above average for this entire stretch, you're not going to get any snow out of that either.
No, for sure.
Not at all.
Scott, thanks. Well, with just 8 days to go, we still have more than 700 little wishes to grant. 5 on Your Side has teamed up with the Foster and Adoptive Care Coalition to provide holiday gifts to area kids impacted by foster care. If If you would like to help out, go to KSDK.com/Little Wishes. And now here's Corey Miller with what's next in sports.
We have an emotional message from a Blues fan favorite you have to see. A wild game on the ice at Enterprise Center. And we'll hear from the latest star recruit for Dennis Gates in Mizzou. Stick around, sports is up next.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
Now, I've had plenty of fights in this arena, and I always ended up on the right side of them because of your support. And it's never gone unnoticed, trust me. Now, after recently being diagnosed with leukemia, I need you more than ever. So with the support of you, my Blues family, I'm up for the biggest fight of my life. Now let's win a hockey game. And hey, buddy, I ain't going anywhere.
I'm not sure cancer has ever faced a tougher opponent than Kelly Chase. That was the message Blues fans saw before tonight's Hockey Fights Cancer game against the Red Wings. It was an emotional, goal-filled night at Enterprise Center with some former Blues coming up huge against their whole team. Moving pregame ceremony tonight with Chaser's speech, a special anthem, and recognition of those who have fought and are still fighting cancer. The game itself was wild. Blues strike first. Brandon Saad 6 minutes in past old friend Ville Husso. Blues up 1-0. Detroit struck back. Former Blue Jake Wallman part of 2 goals in a 2-minute span. Red Wings up. Blues can do that too. Second period, Kevin Hayes 2 goals himself in about 30 seconds. Blues up 3-2. Red Wings tied it again, but then Marco Scandella gets loose. Look at this. What a move. I didn't know he had that in him. He's a defenseman. Another Blues shorthanded goal. That's their NHL leading 8th of the year. They only have 7 power play goals this year, by the way. Blues back on top then. Red Wings tie it once again, and then it's another former Blue ready to break some hearts. Robbie Fabry on the doorstep beats Bennington. Detroit goes up 5-4. For good measure, Husso came up with some big saves late. Detroit added an empty netter, and they win 6-4. The Blues losing streak is now at 4 games.
Did a lot of good things in the game, scored enough goals to win, but we didn't do a good enough job in the blue paint tonight. We didn't kill plays, and they got to the blue paint. We lost coverage there.
Dennis Gates has done a pretty remarkable thing at Mizzou, and I'm not even talking about his program's on-court performance. He has Tiger fans not just hoping, but expecting to land big-time recruits. Gates landed another top high schooler today. He didn't have to go very far to find him. 2025 5-star point guard Aaron Rowe is going to be a Tiger. Rowe is still just a junior at Tolton Catholic High School right there in Columbia. The 6'1" guard is a top 20 player in the class of 2025 and one of the highest rated recruits Missouri has ever landed. For Rowe, the fit with Coach Gates and staying home in Columbia made this an easy decision.
I feel like his plan is just to develop me as a player and as the man I want to be when I'm older. So I just feel like he's going to try to help me get to the next level and just be a better man and be a better player. It's very exciting because just to go out there and put on for your city in your own city. So I feel like that's very exciting. It's going to be very fun.
High school hoops tonight. Nice matchup at U City. Lions hosting Hazelwood Central. Travis Green Jr. pulls down this rebound, and he shot out of a cannon coast to coast. That's good for a bucket for Hazelwood Central. We're going to stay with the Hawks. They get the rebound, kick it out to Michael Nunley. That's good for 3. U City's turn now. Mael Taylor, strong take into the lane, coming up here for 2 of his own. But it is Hazelwood Central who comes to U City and wins tonight 54-44. Big girls matchup at Cardinal Ritter. Illinois State champs O'Fallon in the house. And 6'3" Demaya Bolds is a force for O'Fallon. Good luck scoring on her. She swats a few of these away. Then she can shoot it on the other end. That is good for 3. Ritter can shoot the rock too. Kirsten Walker going to get 3 of her own from the wing here for Ritter. But Bolds and the Panthers are just too tough. Post up, finish, another bucket for Bolds. O'Fallon gets a statement win, 58-41. Rough night for the Blues, but I bet there was not a dry eye in the house after that Kelly Chase video.
It's very moving. Yeah,
definitely.
we wish him the best.
All right, the art of regifting, the new survey unwrapping how many of us are guilty of offloading unwanted holiday gifts. Tomorrow is Taylor Swift's 34th birthday. And local Swifties can celebrate at the St. Louis Public Library. The Central Library is hosting TaylorCon. It runs from noon until 7:30 tomorrow. Activities include a dance party, friendship bracelet making, crafts, and a trivia game.
Eckert's is spreading Christmas cheer. The family farm announced it will donate 50 fresh-cut Christmas trees to those in need this holiday season. They're calling it the Giving Tree. You can nominate someone on Eckert's Facebook and Instagram feeds by midnight on Thursday.
Okay, you may not want to stress out over finding that perfect holiday gift. 38% of Missourians and 43% of people in Illinois admit to regifting or selling unwanted presents. That's according to a survey by dotobird.com, which also found 1 in 3 people believe it's morally wrong.
I just want you to know I'm going to re-gift something very nice for you this
You
year.
can say that. I admit, I have regifted.
Yes, I know. I've gotten your gift.
You've gotten the tie.
There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.